In the serene gardens of Jetavana, Buddha sat beneath the shade of a majestic sal tree, radiating calmness. Disciples gathered around him, their faces eager for the profound wisdom only the enlightened one could impart. Among them was Subhuti, a merchant renowned for his vast wealth and luxurious lifestyle. But burdened by inner turmoil, Subhuti bowed respectfully before Buddha, his golden robe glinting in the soft sunlight. He spoke, voice trembling, "Master, I have wealth beyond measure. Yet my heart feels empty. Why does my joy elude me?" Buddha gazed at him, his eyes filled with gentle compassion and insight. "Subhuti, possessions are like shadows at dusk. They appear solid but fade as darkness encroaches." The disciples leaned closer, intrigued by Buddha's words. He continued, "Consider a man clutching a handful of sand, hoping it turns to gold. His efforts leave him with aching hands." Subhuti frowned, puzzled, and asked, "Master, does wealth itself bring suffering? Or is it our longing that binds us?" Buddha smiled faintly, offering clarity. "It is neither wealth nor poverty, but attachment that chains the heart and clouds the mind." Buddha gestured to the lotus flowers, blooming in the nearby pond, their petals untouched by the muddy water below. "Observe the lotus," he said. "It thrives amidst the muck, yet its beauty remains untarnished. Its roots rest firmly in mud, yet it blossoms unstained, reaching upward with quiet grace." I studied the flower, sensing its delicate strength, wondering what lesson it held beyond its striking appearance. The enlightened one recounted, "Once, a wealthy king erected a palace adorned with treasures, believing he would secure everlasting happiness. But fear grew. His voice remained steady, resonating truth. The fear of thieves and loss haunted the king, robbing him of sleep and peace. A prisoner to his wealth." Buddha paused, allowing his disciples to reflect on the tale's gravity. A gentle breeze swirled through the gardens, carrying the faint scent of flowers. Subhuti's shoulders slumped as realization began to dawn upon him. "Master, I now understand that wealth enslaved the king. But how does one escape this relentless pursuit of possessions?" Buddha replied, "Let go of attachment, Subhuti, and embrace impermanence. Only then can the soul soar free like the lotus." The disciples whispered among themselves, absorbing the wisdom like thirsty travelers at an oasis. Buddha stood, his movements graceful and deliberate, his presence a beacon of serenity. He addressed them all, saying, "The illusion of wealth lies in its promise of permanence. True treasure resides within, unbound by the material world." Subhuti approached the pond, gazing at the reflection of the sky on its surface. The lotus flowers swayed gently, unaffected by the rippling water beneath them. He pondered the lesson with newfound clarity. The disciples followed, their footsteps silent as they joined him by the pond, each lost in thoughts of detachment and freedom. One disciple, Ananda, spoke hesitantly, "Master, what of those who possess nothing? Can they also find peace in their hearts?" Buddha turned to Ananda, his gaze kind and understanding. "Even emptiness can bind a soul. Ananda, poverty, too, can stir attachment if clung to with despair." The discourse grew deeper, and Buddha's words painted vivid images of liberation. Forgiveness liberates the heart from pain, not by erasing harm, but by releasing its hold upon your spirit. Is forgiveness possible when betrayal feels insurmountable? I asked, bearing the vulnerability of wounds still raw and unhealed. As the sun descended, casting an amber hue across the gardens, Subhuti voiced his gratitude. "Master, your wisdom has illuminated the darkness within my heart. I vow to release my attachment to possessions." The disciples bowed in unison, their hearts touched by the profound simplicity of Buddha's teachings. Buddha turned once more to the pond, his voice filled with love and gentleness. "Remember, Wealth is not the enemy. Desire and attachment are the snares of the soul. Awakened to truth, the gardens fell silent, save for the rustling of leaves and the quiet hum of nature. Leadership through example radiates peace, inviting hearts to reflect and transform through their own recognition of harmony. His answer grounded me as I considered the importance of personal responsibility in the face of societal challenges. Subhuti departed, leaving behind his golden robe and adorned jewelry, a symbolic gesture of his newfound freedom. Buddha smiled softly, his teachings a bridge between suffering and liberation, connecting hearts to peace. Will this journey ever reach an end, or does its pursuit stretch infinitely? I questioned, searching for certainty. Buddha smiled. Amid the quiet, Jetavana stood as a sanctuary of truth, untouched by the ephemeral nature of worldly possessions. The tale spread across distant lands, carried by pilgrims and wanderers seeking solace in the teachings of the Enlightened One. I said, "Thank you for sharing your wisdom. How can I begin my own path toward this unfolding peace?" He replied, "Begin by listening to the stillness within you. It holds answers to questions words cannot contain." As I sat in the grove, I felt the stillness he described, a quiet pulse grounding me in that moment. Among them was Rajan, a young prince exiled from his kingdom. Burdened by sorrow and identity, Rajan bowed deeply, his voice trembling with emotion as he spoke. "Master, I have lost my title, my power, my purpose." I left with gratitude, carrying the seeds of understanding, ready to nurture them with reflection and mindful intention. Another day, another moment of tranquility in the grove, where sunlight filtered through leaves, casting intricate patterns upon the ground. Buddha gestured to the stream flowing endlessly before them, saying, "Observe the water. It moves, transforms, yet remains itself. So do we." Rajan frowned, confusion clouding his thoughts, and asked hesitantly, "Master, does our essence endure when all we know falls away?" Buddha smiled kindly, offering clarity through a simple analogy. He recounted a story, his voice calm and resonant. There was once a farmer who cherished his land deeply, believing it defined his existence. The disciples listened intently, drawn to Buddha's vivid narration. He said, "Fast movements do not imply progress. Meaningful paths require deliberate steps, rooted in mindful awareness." I sighed, the metaphor stirring within me, though clarity on its application to life remained elusive. Rajan's shoulders slumped as he connected with the tale's emotional weight. Buddha's words provided an anchor amid the storm of confusion. He said, "The farmer wandered, seeking solace, and discovered joy in aiding others rebuild their lives. Compassion revealed his true self." Buddha pointed toward the flowing stream nearby, its gentle current winding gracefully around obstacles without resistance. "Observe the stream," he said. "Embrace impermanence, for therein lies freedom." The disciples whispered among themselves, inspired by the depth of Buddha's teachings and the poignant tale of transformation. Is adaptation enough, or must one resist the forces seeking to deter them from their chosen path? I asked. He replied, "True strength lies in the harmony of resistance and acceptance." Guided by clarity and conscious intent, his voice quivered as he asked, "Master, how do we release the illusion of self when fear envelops us?" Buddha turned to him, his gaze unwavering and kind, saying, "Fear stems from attachment to identities. Let go, and embrace the unknown with a courageous heart." Buddha said, "Discipline sharpens intention, while acceptance nurtures compassion. Together, they anchor purpose without yielding to rigidity or chaos." His words painted an intricate balance, but mastering such synergy felt daunting amid life's relentless complexities. There was a singer whose voice entranced crowds, her identity tied to her gift. Her joy became despair, He continued. When her voice faltered, her identity shattered, leaving her lost but in silence. She learned to listen deeply. He said, fear diminishes when embraced with understanding. Transforming from obstacle to ally in life's unfolding journey, I pondered his response, wondering how fear could evolve into something constructive rather than destructive. Rajan knelt beside the stream, his fingers trailing through its waters. Seeking solace and inspiration, the sun descended, painting the sky in hues of amber and crimson as the day waned peacefully in Jetavana. His words resonated deeply, yet I still struggled with the sheer depth of their implications. I said, impermanence often feels cruel, stealing what we treasure most and leaving behind pain. Buddha nodded solemnly. Pain is the teacher of impermanence, reminding us to cherish moments without clinging or despair. He addressed them all, saying, embrace change, for identity, wealth, and power are but ripples on the surface. Dive deeply into the stream of truth. It is the liberation of spirit from illusions while embracing life's dynamic essence. His words echoed through me, challenging assumptions and encouraging broader contemplation of life's intricate dance. What role does connection play in this dance? And can it exist alongside detachment? I asked. Buddha replied, connection celebrates shared existence. Detachment preserves individuality, harmonizing love's essence with freedom's truth. I marveled at the nuanced interplay he described, each insight building upon layers of understanding. How can one foster such connection when misunderstanding and conflict prevail? I asked, reflecting on strained relationships. He said, begin with listening, for genuine attention bridges hearts and cultivates empathy. Dissolving barriers of judgment, I considered the depth of listening, aware of its rarity in a world saturated with noise and haste. Buddha sat amidst his disciples, their eyes fixed upon him as anticipation filled the air around them. Among the gathering was Sada, a humble villager yearning to understand the path to liberation. Sada bowed deeply, his voice shaking as he asked, Master, what does it truly mean to be liberated from suffering and illusion? Buddha looked at him with gentle compassion and replied, liberation is not a destination, but a journey of wisdom, mindfulness, and transformation. Buddha gestured to the night sky. Stars scattered across its vast expanse, their light reflecting upon the pond's still surface. He said, observe the stars. They shine brightly, yet their brilliance cannot be captured or owned. His insight sparked self-reflection, revealing the threads of trust in my own experiences, both woven and unraveled. How can we repair trust once it's broken? I asked, acknowledging past wounds still unresolved. Buddha continued, a beggar once approached a king and requested wisdom instead of wealth, choosing knowledge over ephemeral material possessions. His voice resonated softly through the gardens, enveloping his disciples in the truth. What lessons can broken trust teach? Despite its pain? I asked, seeking wisdom within loss. Broken trust reveals the fragility of illusions, teaching resilience, patience, and the power of forgiveness, Buddha replied. As his words settled into my spirit, I sensed their transformative potential despite lingering doubts and uncertainty. I asked, is forgiveness always possible, or are some wounds too deep to heal? Buddha looked at me kindly. Understand this, and the path opens before you. Sada knelt before Buddha, his gaze fixed upon the enlightened one, searching for clarity and purpose in his quest. Buddha gestured to the stream flowing gently nearby, its waters moving harmoniously with the rhythm of nature. Unburdened by obstacles, he said, the stream flows freely, its course unrestrained, its essence unchanged. Liberation is fluid, ever transforming, yet profoundly simple. The disciples nodded, their spirits lifted by the vivid imagery Buddha offered. His response illuminated a path to empathy, its foundation rooted in inner harmony and self-awareness. I asked, "Does empathy ever falter under the weight of pain and frustration?" Buddha said, "Empathy falters only when overshadowed by ego's influence. Cultivate humility, allowing empathy to thrive amidst adversity. Observe your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions without judgment. Let them flow." He continued, "Ethical conduct and inner discipline are vital. Speech, livelihood, and intention must align with truth and compassion." Buddha nodded warmly. Each reflection plants seeds of transformation. Nurture them with patience and gratitude. The sunlight shifted as the grove shimmered with tranquility, an embodiment of timeless lessons guiding my journey onward. Another day, another walk brought me to the tranquil grove, where the stillness seemed to echo ancient wisdom. Buddha turned to the disciples, his presence radiant and calm, his voice filled with love and insight. He said, "The path to liberation requires courage, persistence, and compassion. Fear not the unknown, and embrace impermanence with an open heart." The disciples bowed in unison, their minds filled with hope and understanding. Sada sat by the stream, his fingers dipping into its cool waters, seeking inspiration and solace from the endless flow. The stream seemed to whisper its wisdom to him, its gentle melody resonating with Buddha's teachings shared moments ago. He said, "Suffering, like the shadow, exists in contrast to light, revealing the dimensions of human experience and growth. But must suffering always accompany life? Is it an inevitable thread in the fabric of existence?" I asked. He said, "Liberation transcends boundaries. For the heart untethered by attachment becomes boundless and free, shining like the stars above." The disciples nodded, their souls alight with understanding. The moon rose higher, its glow enveloping the gardens in soft silver light, a quiet beauty reflecting impermanence and transformation. Sada voiced his gratitude with trembling words, saying, "Master, your teachings have illuminated my soul. I will dedicate myself to the Eightfold Path with unwavering resolve." Buddha gazed at him kindly and replied, "Walk the path with mindfulness and compassion. Liberation is within reach for all who seek it earnestly." Night cloaked the gardens, its peace undisturbed as Jetavana stood as a sanctuary for truth, wisdom, and enlightenment. Buddha answered, "Cultivate mindfulness and compassion, for they nurture inner stability and awareness, anchoring you in the present." His words resonated, though the application of these practices in the chaos of life seemed a daunting challenge. Jetavana remained vibrant, untouched by illusion. Sada departed Jetavana, his heart filled with courage and purpose, his steps lighter as he embarked on his journey toward liberation. Buddha watched him go, his smile serene, his teachings transcending time and space, resonating like an eternal stream of wisdom. The gardens fell silent, a sanctuary of peace. What role does acceptance play in lessening suffering? I asked, considering the tension between resistance and surrender. Acceptance dissolves resistance, Buddha replied, revealing clarity within the storm, and guiding the heart to peace and understanding. The stars above bore witness to his legacy. Night enveloped the gardens of Jetavana, yet the air remained alive with the echo of Buddha's lessons shared with unwavering love. Buddha gestured to the flowing stream nearby, its water calmly navigating rocks and bends along its journey. "Learn from the stream," he said, accepting obstacles as part of the path while continuing forward with quiet determination. I studied the stream, its harmony with nature inspiring a sense of peace and possibility within me. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.